Now we'll take a look at the 8 elements in mass communication setting. The traditional definition of mass communication is a complex organization sending public messages to large audiences to influence an action. Now that action might be something as simple as to laugh, or the action might be to receive information. But the internet has blurred this definition. Now, a single individual can achieve mass communication through the internet. Mass audiences are no longer the property of mass media. In mass communication, the sender used to be a group of individuals with a fixed role within an organization. They were professional communicators. And that makes the majority of mass communication, especially traditional mass communication, a group effort. However, new forms of technology allow individuals who have access to a mass channel like the internet unprecedented mass audiences, as Doonesbury is discovering. The encoding in mass communication is a highly complex process with multiple steps, usually performed by specialists. Even the internet encoding that's available to an individual is still highly complicated. And the channels are highly complex and they're machine assisted. The distribution can either be very slow, it might take months, even years for a movie that's been made to actually be distributed to an audience, or it could be instantaneous in case of the internet, and often these channels operate on a regular schedule. The messages are public. They're intended for large audiences. They're designed to influence the audience in some way. And termination is easiest in mass communication because I can just turn off the radio, turn off the TV, log off the computer. Very easy to disrupt the channel in mass communication. The decoding is very complex because it involves multiple machines. And the receiver is usually thought of as an audience and not an individual. And in mass communication, the receivers are heterogeneous. They're made up of several different groups. Although niche communication to narrow groups of people is growing. The receivers are spread out over a wide physical area, and they're self-defined. I choose what messages to receive. And mass communication is very subjective. Each individual constructs the message, decodes, in a unique way. The receivers are anonymous to one another, and as a result, receivers are often influenced in unpredictable ways. The feedback is indirect at best, often minimal, sometimes non-existent, but the search for direct feedback is vital. We've already talked about audience testing in terms of both rock concerts and movies. There's extensive audience testing on television shows, advertisements. Mass media organizations will take every opportunity to improve the communication process before they have to go to the cost of distribution through a mass media channel. The complexity of the communications process greatly increases the chance of noise, and it reduces the effectiveness of the message. And you have the same environmental, semantic, and psychological elements of noise. In the next part of Module 3, we'll take a look at some common characteristics of mass communication.